think they're easy.
You can do that. This. Right, here, let's go one by one. The first one, what is the y-intercept of that line? This line right here. What is the y-intercept?
The 7.
7D?
A.
A is right, yes, -7. Number 2, what is the y-intercept of this line?
Is it B?
It is B, right? If there's nothing, then it's B. But if there's no slope, well, there cannot be no slope. So if you have something like y equals x plus 3, the slope is 1, okay? The slope is 1.
Okay.
There are two conditions though, like you can either have like y equals 3, right? What does this represent? Y equals 3. What's the slope here? And what's the y-intercept? So slope is a number that's being multiplied with x. Is there an x here?
No.
No, so that means what's the slope? It is a big fat 0. Boom.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because there's no x, or you can write it as 3 plus 0x or something. The y-intercept is 3. What does this look like graphically? Y equals to 3. What does that look like? Is it a horizontal line or a vertical line?
Vertical?
No, it's horizontal. So y equals 3 looks like this. It goes through the y-intercept of 3. And horizontal slope is 0. That means it doesn't go up nor down. It's just a flat line. And then there's another condition, which is x equals 3. Now for this one, what's the slope?
Is it also 0?
No, it's not. This one, the slope is undefined.
Oh, okay.
Is it a vertical line or a horizontal line?
A vertical line?
Vertical line, right? Does it touch the y-axis at all?
No.
No, so there is no y-intercept. It does not exist, not applicable, or no y-intercept.
Okay.
Now, why is the slope undefined? Like if you're to pick some points, right? Let's say I pick the points 2, 5 and 1, 5. Actually, you cannot have 2, 5 on this line, but you can have, actually you can. 1, 5 would be right there, yeah? And then you can have maybe something else that you can have. What is this point? This is 3, that's 5, that's 3, 5. Right? 3, 5, and maybe not 5. So 3, 5 is that, and then maybe we can do 3 and 1. 3 and 1. Now, when you go to find slope of this, what's the formula for slope? It's rise over run, yeah? Or it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, if you do this, y2 is 5. 5 minus 1 over 3 minus 3. You get 4 over 0. What is 4 over 0 equals to?
Doesn't really equal anything.
No, it does not. It's undefined. You cannot divide by 0. Okay. 4 over 0 is undefined. At this level, your teacher might tell you it's a 0. It's not. 0 over 4 is a 0. You can have a 0 in the numerator, but you cannot have 0 in the denominator, okay?
Okay.
It's a little weird. Like, what happens if there is a 0 in the denominator? If there is a 0 in the denominator, what happens is you hit a brick wall. You get something like this. Let's say this is your graph, okay? It doesn't have to be linear. Actually, this is not linear, but let's say you have your graph like this, and this is 3. And let's say we get something like 1 over x minus 3. What value of x in the denominator would make the denominator a 0? Like this, what number here would make the denominator a 0? 3, right? If x were to be 3,
Mm-hmm.
you get 1 over 3 minus 3, 1 over 0. That means x cannot be 3. Okay? X
Okay.
cannot be 3. So what happens when x is exactly 3? When x is exactly 3, you see this? This
Mm-hmm.
dotted line, this is something that's called an asymptote. Or in other words, in layman's terms, this is a brick wall. The graph cannot cross this line. It's like an invisible wall.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever you get a 0 in the denominator, you hit a wall. Okay, like
Okay.
it'll go towards it, but it'll actually never reach the wall. Like if you zoom in on this, it'll never touch that line. It'll just go
Mm-hmm.
directly to the left or to the right of it. Okay, so that's why you can't have a 0 in the denominator. In that case, you'll hit a wall. Anyways, let's keep going with these. This one's pretty simple. What's the slope? It's a minus 2 over 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, for 4, give me a letter. We need an equation that has a slope of minus 3, y-intercept of 4.
It's C.
That is correct. 5, rewrite this in general form. So what do they mean by that? They want everything to be on the same side of the equation.
Um, is it A?
No, it's not. So if we want to move everything to the other side, what do? We need to kill the minus 2x and the minus 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you kill the minus 2x? Or if you take it to the other side, what does it become?
A positive 2x.
Yeah, exactly. So you get 2x plus y equals 5. And now if you want to take the 5 to the other side, what happens?
You get a minus 5.
Exactly. So you get 2x plus y minus 5 equals 0. So that's D is the right answer for this one.
Okay.
What about 6?
Um,
So again, you want to take 5x to the other side. It's going to become a positive 5x, right?
mm-hmm.
And how do you take this to the other side? What happens if you take this, the 2/3?
It just becomes 2 over 3.
Yeah, it becomes positive, right? So the answer is B.
Okay.
Okay, we don't have to keep doing these. Let's try this one. What's the slope and y-intercept of this line?
The y-intercept is a -1.
Yes, it is. So that's -1. Now, how do you find the slope?
You can draw another point and then like make a triangle.
All right, so let's pick this and this. So that is 1, right? And that on the x-axis is also a 1.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the rise?
Just 1.
No. So from -1 to 1, how many units?
2.
2, right? So rise over run. So rise, we're going up. So the rise is 2 units. What about the run? From
It's
0
just
to
1.
1. It is 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 unit. So the slope is 2. So slope is 2 and the y-intercept is -1. So option C.
Okay.
What is the slope of the line passing through points X, Y, and P and Q?
Is it A?
No, it's not A. So again, you have to treat it like this, okay? You have to treat it like this when they give you a set of points. If they give you a set of points, you could always draw a triangle out of it, but in this case, these points are arbitrary, right? They're just imaginary points. So what can we do? We're gonna do this. This is x1, this is y1. This is x2, this is y2. What's this formula for slope? Instead of rise over run, we can do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So what is y2 in this case? Q, yeah? Q is y2, see? y2 is q. What is y1?
It's X. No,
X,
it's Y.
it's y. So q minus y, okay, and then in the denominator we have x2 minus x1. What's x2?
It's P.
It's p. Minus, what is x1?
X.
Yeah, there we go. So that's the answer. Q minus y over p minus x, option B.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so if they don't give you a triangle, or if you can't make a triangle, use this x2 minus x1 thingy. Let's move on. All right, here's another one. Which equation represents the points containing m and n? So m is there, n is here. Oh, this one could be a little bit dicey. Or is it? What is the point of m? What is this point? What's the coordinate?
Is it 3?
It is 3, it's minus 3. What's the coordinate of this? This is 8, comma, what's the y value here? For that point n.
It's 5.
It's minus 5, right? Minus 5.
Okay.
And then we draw a triangle here. So slope. What's the rise? From -3 to -5. How many units?
2.
2 units, right? What about in the denominator? What's the run? From 0 to 8.
Just 8.
8, just 8, right? Now in this case, will the slope be positive or negative?
Negative.
Yeah, why is it negative?
It's going down.
Exactly. So the slope is -1 over 4, and we know the y-intercept is -3, right? So which equation, which option is right?
It's B.
Yes, there we go. That's the answer to this question. 11. For the line 3x minus 4y minus 12 equals to 0, which statement is true?
How exactly would you know?
So to do this, you have to convert it into y equals mx plus b. It's not in the right form right now. We need to take it into this form to see what the slope is. And actually, they're just asking us for the intercepts. So we don't even have to do this. To find the x-intercept, you want to set y equals to 0. Let's do that. So 3x, yeah, minus 4 times 0 minus 12 equals 0, right? How do we solve this for x?
You can add 12.
Yeah, so 4 times 0 is 0. We're going to ignore this. So 3x equals 12. X is 4. So the x-intercept is 4. To find the y-intercept, what do we do?
X becomes 0.
Yes, said x is 0. So we have 3 times 0, which is 0, minus 4y equals 12. Y is minus 3. So 4 and minus 3, option D.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense to you? Just remember this, x-intercept said y is 0, y-intercept said x is 0. Number 12, when the linear equation is written in this form, a and b cannot both be.
One.
No, they can be 1, right? So you'll just have x plus y plus 3 equals 0. That's fine. They both can't be 0.
Oh, okay.
Because look at this. If what happens if they're both 0? So x and y cancels out, and then you get something weird like 3 equals 0. 3 is not 0, right?
Oh, okay.
So you get something weird if that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So they both cannot be 0. Number 13, rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form. So slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So how do we do this?
You have to like replace y and x with a 0.
No. That's to find the intercepts, okay?
Oh.
That's to find the x and the y intercept. This question's asking us to rewrite this equation in this form, y equals mx plus b. We're not trying to find the intercepts no more. We're just trying to rewrite it in this form so we can see what the slope is and what the y-intercept is. Cool.
How do you rewrite it?
Sorry, say that again.
How do you rewrite it?
Oh, you just here, kill the 4x and the 2 to the other side. Take them to the other side. So step 1, subtract 4x from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Step 2, subtract 2 from both sides. And there you go. The slope
Oh,
is minus 4. The y-intercept is minus 2. Okay,
mm-hmm.
that's option D for this one. Notice the wording. It's asking us to rewrite it in slope-intercept form. Rewrite it. The other question was asking us to find the x and the y-intercept. In that question, we set x and y as zeros, but in this case, you just want to isolate for y. Okay?
Okay.
Look at 14. Same question, different equation. How do we rewrite this in terms of y?
You subtract 8x and then add 4y to the other side.
Not for y. You want to leave y on this side.
Oh.
Because we want to have something like this, right? We want to have y on the left-hand side. Again, we're trying to solve this for y. What's the next step?
You add 12.
Yes, you add 12. So minus 4y equals minus 8x plus 12. What's the next step? Because we have minus 4y, we just want a y on this side. So we need to get rid of the minus 4.
You divide.
Yes, you divide both sides by minus 4. So you get y is equals to, and again, when you do this, you can do them individually like this, negative 8 over negative 4x plus 12 over negative 4. Okay, divide both of these terms by negative 4 individually. And then you'll get, what's negative 8 over negative 4?
2.
Yeah, 2x, and then 12 over negative 4 is minus 3. So the answer is C.
Okay.
Okay, so we've rewritten this equation in the slope-intercept form. The slope is 2, the y-intercept is minus 3. Same question here. We can ignore that. Let's try another one. Let's try fractions. Number 17. The slope and y-intercept we're looking for. So we're doing 17. So you won't be able to see it just from the equation. You're gonna have to rewrite it, yeah? So let's solve this equation for y. We're gonna have y on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, we'll have the slope and the y-intercept. How do we solve this equation for y? How do I isolate for y?
You subtract 12x.
Right, let's do that first. So 9y plus 2 equals negative 12x, and then?
You subtract 2.
All right, so 9 minus 9y equals minus 12x minus 2, and then?
You divide by negative 9.
Yes, so negative 12 over negative 9x minus 2 over negative 9. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what now? How do we simplify this?
You can't really, well, you'll get a decimal for 12
No, you
or
can't
9.
do this. It's not a calculator question. You can reduce it by hand. 12 over 9. Again, the negative signs, they cancel out. What does 12 over 9 reduce to? They're both divisible by 3.
4 over 3.
Yeah, 4 over 3. So that's our slope. And then we have minus 2 over negative 9. You see that? We have a double negative. What we can do is we can turn it into a positive like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Minus 2 over negative 9. Double negatives, you can combine them into a positive. So the answer is D here.
Okay.
Look at 18. For this equation, which of the following is true? So this is an intercept question. X-intercept and Y-intercept. How do we find those?
You have to replace them with a 0.
Yes, so let's first find the x-intercept by making y as 0. You get x equals 3, and then same thing. We can replace x with 0. We get minus 3y equals 12. Y is minus 4, so 3 and minus 4. So option A. Okay, 19 could be a little bit tricky. What is the slope of a line with x-intercept of 4 and y-intercept of minus 3?
I don't really know.
All right, let's work with the x-intercept, right? Let's work with the x-intercept. So we know in x-intercept, y is 0, yeah? Our equation is gonna be in this form, y equals mx plus b, right? So the x-intercept, we know what it is, right? What is the x-intercept? It is 4, yeah? So when the x value is 4, the y value is what? 0, right?
Yeah.
So we have 2 unknowns here. So we're gonna isolate for one of them, b equals minus 4m. Okay, step 1. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is minus 3. What's the x value on the y-intercept?
0.
Yes, so you have m times 0 plus b, so you just have a b, right, like that. So you see b is minus 3. To find what m is, we can just do m is b over minus 4, right? So we know what b is minus 3, so we do minus 3 over minus 4, so it is 3 over 4. That's the slope.
Oh, okay.
So again, you just plug this into y equals mx plus b. X-intercept means the x value is 4 when the y value is 0. Similarly, y-intercept is when the y value is minus 3, the x value is 0. Find b, and then we want to plug it into this equation to solve for m. Okay, so it's 3 over 4c.
Okay.
Number 20, identify the equation in general form for this thingy. So how do we start this?
Wouldn't it just be C?
No, you're gonna take it to the other side. So slope is 3 means y equals 3x minus 4, right? That's our equation. And when we take all right, so we can either take the y to the other side, or we can bring both of them to this side. If you take y to the other side, you get 3x minus y minus 4 equals 0. Yeah? So it's option A.
Oh, okay.
So you have to take, if we were to take this to the other side, we would get y minus 3x plus 4 equals 0. I noticed that this was not one of the options. That means we had to take the y to the other side to get this, and which is an option. So it's A. Okay. 21. Identify the equation of a line when the slope is 0.6 and when the y-intercept is 0.4. This one could be a little bit tricky. What's 0.6 as a fraction? 0.6 as a fraction.
I don't really know.
So 0.6 is the same thing as 6 over 10, right? What does 6 over 10 reduce to?
3/5.
Yes. 0.4, what is that as a fraction? It's just 4 over 10. What does that reduce to?
2/5.
Yes. Okay. So we know the slope is 0.6. So y equals 3 over 5x. Yeah. The y-intercept is 0.4 plus 2 over 5, like that. Okay. Now we need to take it to the other side, right? What we can do is we can rewrite this as 3x plus 2 over 5. And let's multiply both sides by the 5. So we get 5y equals 3x plus 2. Okay.
Okay.
Now, which one of those options is right for 21?
When you move 5y to the other side, do you subtract it?
Yes. So you subtract 5y from both sides, you'd get 3x minus 5y plus 2. This one, option C.
Okay.
Did this make sense to you? Number 22. Points C and D are on a line. What is the run from D to C? They just want the run.
Is that like 5 to -3?
Yeah. D to C, so from -3 to 5.
Is it 8?
Yes, it is, right? 8 units. Look at 23. So they've given you 2 points and the y-intercept, they want the equation of a line. Any ideas on how to do this?
Um,
So you want to be a little smart about this question. See, they've given you the y-intercept, right? It's
mhm.
-4. Which one of these equations has the y-intercept of -4?
C.
Yeah, and you're done,
Oh, okay.
right? We could find the slope, but we don't need to because there's only one y-intercept with -4, and that is C. 24. Identify the slope of the line. So for this one, this is probably going to be easier. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So slope M is equals to Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. What goes in the numerator?
-5 minus 4.
Yeah, -5 over 4. And what about the denominator?
-4 minus 3.
Right. So we get -9 up top. What do we get on the denominator?
-7.
Yes. So it's 9 over 7. Option B.
Mm-hmm.
25. Now they've given us a point and a slope. And we want to find the equation of the line. Right, so we have y equals mx. We do know what the slope is, so y equals 2x or minus 2x plus b. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we want to find the b value. Any ideas on how to find the b value? They have given us a point.
What do you do with the point?
Oh, you plug it as x and y to find what b is. Like that. Plug y as 3, plug x as 2.
Oh, okay.
So you get 3 equals minus 4 plus b, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do we solve for b?
You add 4.
Yeah, so b is 7. So the y-intercept is 7. And there's only 1. And the answer is
Mm-hmm.
A. 26. Now they've given us a table of values. And we want to find the equation.
Um,
See, our line looks like this, yeah? Goes through
mm-hmm.
-9 and 0. and then goes through 1 and 6. Okay, like that.
Mm-hmm.
When the x value is 0, the y value is -9. That is your y-intercept. You see mx plus b? The b
Mm-hmm.
represents the y-intercept, which is when the x value is 0. So we already have the y-intercept -9, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you find the slope? What's the rise here from -9 to -6?
It's 3.
It's 3, and the run from 0 to 1 is a 1. So our slope is 3, our y-intercept is 9, -9, sorry, so it's C.
Okay.
27. The equation of a line with slope this and passes through this point. Again, they've given you the slope, you just plug it into this equation, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else have they given us?
The y-intercept.
Yeah, the y-intercept. So it's 1 over 3x minus 3. So option D for
Okay.
this one, okay? Whenever the x value is 0, that's the y-intercept. Number 28. Which two lines are parallel?
Um, is it A?
So what's the condition for parallel lines?
Oh, this slope has to be the same,
Mhm.
and then different y-intercepts.
Right. So for A, they have different slopes, so they're not
Mm-hmm.
parallel. Same thing with B, different slopes. Um, what about C and D? Which one of those are parallel?
Um, C,
You said C or D?
D.
Yes, that's right. They're both horizontal lines, right? They don't have slope. The first one just goes through the 0, and the next one goes through 2. So these two lines are parallel. C is not parallel. C y equals to x looks like this, and y equals to 5 looks like this. So they do meet. If they meet, they're not parallel. So the answer to this one is D. What about perpendicular? What's the condition for perpendicular?
Um, they meet at one point.
They do meet, but how can we identify them from a set of thingamajigs equations?
Like they're negative and a positive.
No, not just that. They have to be negative reciprocals, okay? You have to flip them.
Oh, okay.
So if you have 2, it's going to become -1 over 2. If you have 8 over 9, it's going to become -9 over 8. So flip and negative.
Okay.
If you look at A, they have the same slope. That is parallel. B is not negative, so that's out. Between C and D, which one is right?
D.
Yes, flip and negative. So C is not flipped, it's D, and those lines are perpendicular. They do meet, but they meet at like a 90-degree angle. So 2 over 3x looks something like this, okay? And then -3 over 2 looks something like this. So when the point at which they meet is a right angle. That's what perpendicular means.
Mm-hmm.
30. What is the equation of a line that passes through this point and is parallel to the line this?
It's either A or B.
Right, how can we find out which one it is?
You just plug in the points.
Right, the slope is 3 because it's parallel, so -1 equals 3 times 3 plus b. It's minus 10, looks like. B equals -1 minus 9, it's minus 10. So the answer to this one is B. Okay. What about 31? Now they're perpendicular. So if they're perpendicular, what's the slope of this new line?
1 over -3.
No. 1 over 3. You have to change the sign as well. It's
Oh,
already
okay.
negative, right? So it's 1 over 3. So y equals 1 over 3x plus b. To find b, we'll just plug this in. 1 over 3 times 3 is the x, and the y value is -1. Always remember, yeah, it's x comma y, x comma y.
Okay.
So 1 over 3 times 3 is 1. So we have -1 equals 1 plus b. Subtract 1 from both sides. B is -2. So it is option B here. Positive slope,
Okay.
negative y-intercept. 32. Right, the equation of a line that's parallel to this with the same x-intercept as this. So we know parallel, that means C and D are out. The slope is 2, right? So let's find the y-intercept in this equation. How do you find the y-intercept here?
X becomes 0.
No, x-intercept, y becomes 0.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you look at the graph, like if you look at any graph, see this is the x-intercept. At this point, the y value is 0. So 3x equals 12, x is 4. The x-intercept is 4, right? So what's the y value on the x-intercept?
0.
0, exactly. So we know our point is 0, 4. So y equals 2x plus b, right? Y equals 2x plus b. We're missing the y-intercept. To find that, we're just going to plug any point we know, and we know this is the x-intercept. We're going to plug that. So the y value is sorry, not 0, 4. It should have been 4, 0. The y value is 0. So 0 equals 2 times 4 plus b. B is -8. So that means it's option this one. Okay, so we found a point and we plugged it into the equation and solved for b.
Okay.
33. The equation of a line is 4x minus 8. Which equation represents a line that's parallel to line A?
B.
Yes, that one was pretty easy. 34. So we have this equation and it's asking us which one of these is parallel to line A. There's 4 different equations. Which one of them is parallel to line A?
Wait, 34, right?
Yes.
C and D.
Yes, so option C is right here, yeah? 35, the equation of line T is this, the equation of line U is this. Which statement is true?
What does steeper exactly mean?
Well, steepness is how, like this, how vertical the line is. This is more steeper than this.
Oh. So C?
Yes, the higher the slope, the more steep it is. 36, they've given us 2 points. They're asking us which equation represents a line that is parallel.
Do you do something with the points?
Yeah. What do you do?
Do you plug them in somewhere?
No. So it's asking us which equation represents a line that's parallel to this line. Parallel means same slope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to find the slope of this, the slope between these 2 points. Okay. So we do 5 minus 8 on the top. On the bottom, we do 0 minus -3. So we get -3 over +3. The slope is -1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of these equations has a slope of -1? Parallel means same slope.
Is it C?
Yeah, it is C, and you're done. Right? Find the slope and see which one has the same slope. Let's look at 37. Now this time it's asking us for perpendicular, but the steps are the same. First, we want to find the slope between these 2 lines, okay? So 5 minus 8 over 0 minus -3, that was -1. The slope is -1. So if something is perpendicular, what happens to the new slope?
It's a negative reciprocal.
So what's the negative reciprocal of -1?
Just one.
Just 1, exactly. So which one of these has a slope of 1?
C.
Yes, and you are done with this. Here we have fill in the blanks. In the equation of a line, y equals 4x minus 3, the number -3 represents, what does that represent?
The y-intercept.
Right, the y-intercept. Points this and this is on a line. The slope of the line is. How do you find the slope of the line given 2 points?
-4 minus -8. And
Yes.
then
So it's
0
gonna,
minus 2.
yes, so -4 minus -8 becomes -4 plus 8, yeah? 4 over -2, the slope is -2. The y-intercept is given. What's the y-intercept? Look at this point.
-4.
Yes, so the equation is -2x minus 4, y equals.
Okay.
3, the x-intercept occurs when?
Like when it touches the thing.
So how would you phrase it?
I don't know.
When y is 0.
Okay.
The slope of the line represented by this, What do you think for 4?
What is it asking?
It's asking us for the slope of this line.
Isn't it just -3/4?
Yes, it is -3/4. Number 5, 2 lines that have the same slope are said to be.
Parallel?
Yes. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are,
Negative reciprocals?
right, negative reciprocals, and we are done with this. Okay, this one might be a little bit tricky. Let me pull this up. There's 2 different pages. That goes up there, and it's 10 options. This can go, let me move it down here. Let's do one by one. A, general form. Which one of these numbers is A? General form is this 8. It needs to be in this form.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So this is out, A is out. And similarly, you see a 9 used to show the y-intercept and the slope. What is that called? It is called the slope-intercept form, right? Slope-intercept form. Which one should we attack next? For a horizontal line, this is 0. Horizontal line means this. What is 0 for a horizontal line?
X?
Not X.
No,
M.
Y.
M.
Huh?
M is 0, not X. Y equals to 3 is an example of this, right? X cannot be 0. Look at this. At this point, X is like 3 or something. At this point, X is 2. It's not the X that's 0. It's the slope. The M.
Oh, okay.
The M is 0, okay? So for a horizontal line, this is 0. That's the slope, G. These lines have the same slope.
C?
Yes. Parallel lines have the same slope. For a vertical line, the X value is constant and equals to this. So something like this. What is this point?
0?
No. What does it represent? Y is 0, but not the X. That's the X-intercept, right?
Oh, okay.
That's the X-intercept. This is the Y-intercept.
Mhm.
This one is the X-intercept, so 3 is gonna be J. Okay. Number 4, this is where 2 lines meet. What is that called?
E?
Yes, E, the point of intersection. For the line y equals 3x plus 6, this is 6. So what does the 6 represent in this line?
The y-intercept?
Right, the y-intercept. So that is K. The number 3 and 1/3 are examples.
F?
Yes, good. Reciprocals. These lines meet at 90 degrees.
I?
No, it's D. It's D. Perpendicular lines meet at 90 degrees. Right?
Oh.
If you see this line is perpendicular with this line. Okay. The slopes are negative reciprocals, but it's perpendicular. They're going to meet at 90 degrees. It's going to have 90 degrees on each side.
Oh,
Meets
okay.
at right angles. So these lines meet at 90-degree perpendicular lines. That's why it's D. What about 10, the last one? The numbers 2/3 and -3/2 are examples.
It's B.
It's B, exactly. It's B. There you go. We're done with this. One option, we didn't need it. It's I, slope point form. Let me show you what that looks like. We haven't actually encountered this. So slope intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the general form, which is this one. This is the general. And then we have the slope point form. Now, what is that? It looks something like this. Y minus y1 is equals to mx minus x1. So instead of giving you the y-intercept, what they will give you is the slope. Let's say the slope is 3, and it passes through some point 4, 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Write the equation of a line in slope point form using this information. So slope is 3, so that's our m value is 3. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
X is going to stay as x, but x1 is going to become a 4. And y1 is going to become a 5. So there you go. This is an example of a line in slope point form. And you do
Oh, okay.
this when they've given you the slope and a point, right? Usually they will give you the slope and the y-intercept, but in this case, if they give you a slope and the point, you can write it in this form. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's call it a day there for today. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
Bye bye.